this is the vintage weekend, and this is always the biggest event for the club. The Winnipeg Sports Car Club attracts the most cars for the vintage weekend. We've got cars from 4 or 5 cities in Alberta, 4 or 5 cities in Saskatchewan. We've got cars from Ontario. We have cars from the States. We have somebody from BC, I think. There was so many sedans that we actually hit the limit of our insurance. We're only allowed to have 33 cars on track at once, and we were up to at least 35. So they actually had split it into 2 groups just to run it, which I've never seen before. You know, the club ebbs and flows, and there's definitely some events where, you know, not that many people show up, and between entry fees, you know, like for the entry fees that you get from those smaller numbers, sometimes you don't break even on your event or you lose money on an event. So it's nice to see lots of people coming, and it gives us a bit of reserve just in case it, well, not just in case, like when it slows down. So qualifying went okay. It was pretty busy on track, so that I just tried to find some space so that I wasn't trying to pass somebody in the middle of a qualifying lap, because that, you know, eats a good half second. And I got a good lap and qualified in second in class, so we'll see what happens in the first race. The first race was really hectic. There's a lot of cars out there. I think there's about 25 cars in total, and some of the classes are mixing in. So I'm racing PTF, but there was a couple of the PT C and D, which are technically faster cars, kind of in our midst. So basically they were really fast in a straight line, a bit slower in the corners. So it made for some pretty hectic first laps. There was one of the cars from Alberta was flying through the grass in corner 2, and it was tough. It kind of worked for and against me. I got passed by Al when I was lapping one of the faster cars that was having a mechanical problem, and he got by me, but I was able to get back past him when we were getting lapped again. So the traffic was working against me and with me sometimes, so sometimes traffic is luck of the draw. And overall, second place, so no complaint. I guess just that little bit of time I lost in the beginning, I just couldn't make it back, and Clint got away up front, and there was nothing I could do about it. Didn't really go as well as I was hoping. I started in second and sort of had some of the same challenges where I just wasn't making the right decisions with traffic, and it just kind of got caught out, you know, not on an ideal line, and it just cost me a bit of time and allowed Al to get by. Coming out of corner 5, I was trying to make a move on Don, and Al kind of just made a train with Don and pushed him along, and I just couldn't keep up down the straight. And they got around before the next corner, and sort of the same deal. We were getting past Don again, couldn't quite do it, and then Johnny got by, and there just wasn't enough laps to try and make a move. I had a little bit of a lunge, but they're pretty fast in a straight line, so I'm not really able to catch up on the straightaway, which is, I get a good exit, but they start to get away from me, so I'm not getting close enough going into the final corners. So anyways, we'll see. I'm going to rotate the tires around, see if that helps a bit, and see if I can do a little bit better in race number 3. Going into corner 3, John and I were nose to tail the whole race, and you know, we went back and, well, I tried to go up the inside a few times and just never made it work. And so on towards the end of the race, I went up the inside and, you know, started my braking probably like, I don't know, a couple meters too deep, and started to lock a wheel up. And so you got to get out of the brakes a little bit, and then all of a sudden it's taking you longer to slow down. So I was kind of coming up the inside, and Don was turning in to take the corner, which is totally fine. And I hit him in the door, so I kind of bent this area of the car slightly, and now I'm straightening it out. So that's what I'm doing. His door is a little denty. Well, I feel bad. It's we're not even in the same class, so it's really unfortunate, and just need to be more cautious going forward. Mainly tomorrow. It's the end of today, so a little bit more caution for tomorrow is in order, I guess. The corner workers called it in on the radio, which is that's what they're supposed to be doing. And so, and I mean, I'm sure people saw it. So when the race was over, they called us in and asked what happened. And we were worried that maybe it was a bit worse than it was. And I had my GoPro running, so I was able to show them footage of the incident. And then once they saw the footage, they said, we're just gonna call it a racing incident. We're all just trying to keep our cars running. Nobody's trying to make life hard for anybody. It's just, you know, you're trying to have fun, and everybody's friends, and everybody's just trying to keep it that way. So that's yeah, I mean, it's the spirit of the club is, you know, very you know, be a good neighbor, and yeah, don't be a jerk. Don is probably the most easygoing human being that I know, so he's not upset, or he was a little upset at first, but after, you know, the adrenaline clears the body, you know, he was just like, don't do it again. and it's always forgiven. So, and that's how I would look at it too if it was the shoes were reversed.
Here we go, 5 open-wheel cars out there today for the top race.
While you're down there,